Hey, you guys, Garfield's down there. Welcome to my live stream. Not a happy one, obviously. If you love Trump as much as I do, you're pretty much feeling bummed out like I am. Turns out I have lots of Trump supporter friends here in town. I didn't realize so many people really appreciate him, and we're all combination of sick as a dog and mad as hell and disgusted and bumming out and just having that feeling of helplessness that something has happened, and turn on TV and you watch all these celebrities and all these people, the left-wing media gloating about it. And my mom likes to watch The View, and just every single one of those biddies is all just practically having wet dreams about this. Yeah. And Trump can only say so much. But hey, one good thing is they say that his donations in 24 hours since it's happened, he's made over $50 million, so that's good. Isn't this weird? Isn't this a bummer? Garfield, let's say Garfield. Everybody wants to say Garfield. Oh, on a personal front, my whole household is supportive of Garfield being here. I don't have to feel that I have to hide him from anybody. The landlord's okay about it. I got Trump signs in the windows. I haven't tried to look around to see where all the other Trump signs are. I know there's this one particular house that's in the direction of Ventnor. It's all decked out in Trump signs. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, somebody told me this cat's 17 years old. I don't know if I believe that. She also claims that the reason why the cat's got the ear tip is not due to spay and neutering, but because her son, when she was giving him a haircut, cut his ear. And I asked her if she beat his ass afterward, and she said no. Now, it seems to me if you do something like that to a cat, you need to get your bottom reddened, right? Oh, what's the matter, baby? You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Nobody wants to see a pretty face. Yeah, okay, I'll put you down. Okay. Um, After I get done with this live stream, I have to make a phone number involving life rescue. Do you want to see something that you probably did not expect to see on my channel? Found myself a birdie. Look, got a little birdie. I got a little birdie. This bird somehow got into my house. I don't know how. I didn't bring any eggs out of any nests. Look, let's just see the face. Then let them see the pretty little face. Look, does anybody know what kind of birdie this is? I have a number for wildlife rescue, and this happened when I was getting ready to do a video that I needed to do. And then a friend of mine called up and invited me over, and there was some marijuana involved, as you can imagine, and they played some Grateful Dead on the stereo, and a couple hours had passed by, but I really needed to get out of here away from today's stress. And my little friend My little friend is in a shoebox, and so far there have not been any problems between the cat and the birdie. So pretty, pretty. It's okay. Nobody's gonna hurt you. I think maybe people want to see the birdie. I thought I'd rescued a mouse yesterday, and I had him in a bucket, and I had some bread, and I had a toilet paper roll for him, and the lid was open up enough so he could breathe, right? And I was looking for some nesting materials for him, but he must have gotten out because there's no way he could be hidden in there. And I checked it, and there's no body in there. And this pretty birdie, pretty birdie, pretty. I did a search using the Copilot AI for what to do with the birdie, and they cautioned against giving water. I guess you could drown a bird if you do that. Oh. This being a holiday weekend, it's not going to be easy getting a hold of animal rescues, but I have a number for a wild bird rescue because I found a bird a couple of years ago, and I took care of it until a person could pick it up. And as luck would have it, they actually had a day job in one of the casinos, so they were able to pick up the bird when they got off of work. So, pretty little birdie, aren't you pretty? Nobody's gonna hurt you. This bird was chirping and chirping and chirping. But this, from what I gathered, is a fledgling that's at about the age where you're supposed to go out of the nest. And I don't know if he totally feels confident in his ability to fly. Maybe his wings aren't quite long enough, or maybe he's hungry, and I just didn't know what to offer him. And I was more worried about Garfield finding him. People want to see it. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Just don't poop all over. That's the thing. I was thinking, do I get some kind of a cage for this little guy? You know, I don't know. Oh, and Garfield here, he doesn't know what to make of cardboard boxes. The first cat in my life that didn't right away crawl into a box. But he is interested in this bird, though. Pretty. It's okay. I'm not going to let anybody hurt you here. This just goes to show you never know what you're going to see when you watch my videos. I didn't set out to feature all these critters. I figure, okay, I'll feature cats and I'll talk about Trump. But yeah, I'm so bummed out. I want to do something to help our president. And I talked to my mother about this, and she watches The View, and she watches David Muir on weekdays, and I was getting into him also. But the thing is, ABC News is not friendly to conservatism and most of the causes that any of us that veer right would care about. I don't know. He was pretty good with the war coverage. He didn't shy away from talking about how terrible the attack on Israel was on October 7th. And I think he does some good coverage on the abortion issue. But so much of the ABC network seems to be a mouthpiece for the Biden administration and doesn't adequately showcase enough of the problems with our porous borders. So I really do prefer to get most of my news from places like Fox News Channel because at least it doesn't have me wanting to yell at the screen half the time. It's very stressful to be watching news that I don't mind some disagreements with some of my worldviews, but if I'm watching something that's pretty much everything you stand for and everybody you like sucks, who likes that kind of negativity? It just, it doesn't, it's not what I want to bombard myself with in my home when there's so much of that out in the real world. Pretty. I was also kind of bummed out about my attempt to do the live stream on the boardwalk and thinking that I was actually getting a signal all the way up the boardwalk, only to find out that what I was seeing, it was indicating that I was going live, and yet the thing had cut off in like 22 minutes. So all that time I was on the boardwalk, I was not broadcasting, and I thought I was. Baby, hey baby, it's okay. It's okay. Let's see your mouth. Let's see your mouth. Show people your mouth. Show people your mouth. You had a big mouth before. I don't know what you're gonna even like. Tiny little piece of cat food. No, 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 no. Aw. Well, I don't have worms. I mean, the AI said no milk, no water. Reading to the margins, it says ensure the bird is safe and keep it warm. If it's necessary to feed the bird, use a small syringe to gently feed him appro- appropriate food. I have a tiny little plastic eyedropper that I was going to use for the baby mice. Oh, baby. Pretty baby. Look, pretty baby. I gotta make that call. I gotta make that call. I took some pictures, but I don't know that they're good enough to be able to identify my new little friend. Oh, but you know what? Look, the bird made some caca in the, here. I will show you. Birdie made a little bit of caca in the box. That's good. That means something went through. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna wash my hand here. I hope I'm not asking for trouble having the lid off there. But I think it's important this bird gets some fresh air. Right? Okay, I'm back. And I could see the birds moving around, but hasn't popped out of the box. So I'm thinking in the off chance that the bird's weak because he or she hasn't eaten, I think it's more important than ever to make sure that they get enough oxygen. So, birdie, Birdie. Let me see. I'm gonna look to the right on the screen. I asked this AI some information about feeding the words. Uh, oh no, the thing didn't say what to feed it. It says use tweezers or a syringe to feed a baby bird small amounts of food when it opens its mouth. Touch its beak gently to stimulate its appetite. Stop feeding when its crop, a pouch in the bird's throat where it stores food, is full. Frequently, baby birds need to eat every 20 minutes from sunrise to sunset. Well, it's the sun set like 3 hours ago. You think the bird would know that? Because look, the bird's moving around in the box. Oh, don't make a liar out of me. Birdie! What do you feed the bird enough? I don't know what. I don't. I don't have any worms. Uh, do they eat fruit? Maybe. You know what? I have some canned fruit. Okay. I have a can of light mixed fruit. I'm thinking maybe I take a piece of fruit and I have cut in a tiny, tiny, tiny little piece. I have no idea. If only the only thing they eat is protein, I guess I'm screwed. Okay, I'm going to try a piece of pear. All right. Um, hmm. I just saw that little plastic syringe thing. So you get them in some of the Easter egg dye kits. Yeah. Um, you know what? I'm gonna try and just put it directly in your mouth. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Just don't poop on me. Come here, baby. Here. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Open up your mouth. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Just please don't poop on me. Come here, sweetheart. Come here, baby. Here, you hungry? Come here. Come here. Oh, come here, baby. Your mouth was open before. Come here, baby. Your mouth was open. Come here. Come here, baby. Uh-oh. Come here. Your mouth was open before. Come here. You said I'm supposed to tickle under your neck. Like you do that with pussycats. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here. Your mouth was open before. Oh, your mouth was open before now. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? Oh, there. So get you down there. There you there. Upside down. There you go. There you go. Oh, there. I don't know. You know what? I think I'm going to cut this thing a little short so I can. Come on, no, no. Eat some num num. Come on. Come here, baby. Eat some num num. Eat some num num. Come here, baby. I think I'll. Barman, hey. Yeah, I'm good. I got a little birdie now. You know anything about feeding baby birds? This is the third bird that I have encountered, and I don't know how I got this bird. My mom had told me she heard a loud chirping sound in the front room. There's a storage room that where I used to call it my grow room. Um, I took a couple of pictures and I showed it to this AI thing, and it didn't know it wasn't a good enough quality of a picture that they could identify exactly what kind it was. They said it was a fledgling bird, not quite ready to leave the nest, but young and maybe not confident enough to fly, or maybe not confident in how what kind of food it eats. But I have the number of a bird wildlife rehabilitator. But since it's a holiday weekend and it's now midnight, uh, I'm not going to probably be able to call until tomorrow morning. So, but the AI said that they need to be fed uh, between sunrise and sunset every 20 minutes. And you have to do it when the mouth's open. And this bird was chirping a lot today. And the mouth was open, and it didn't occur to me to try to put something in the mouth. That they did say not to put water in the beak. I guess that could drown a bird. Oh, yeah, it says baby birds need to eat every 15 to 20 minutes from sunrise to sunset. So I figure the sun set about what, 3 hours ago or something. I was up the street, and the thing is, I trusted her or he alone here with Garfield the cat. But what I did is I put her or him in this box, and you could see there's already an air hole in this sneaker box. So, and I put the cover on, and I figured the bird's so lightweight, it wouldn't be able to knock the lid off. But a couple of times it did get out, but it was only like on the edge of my television or something. So, and the cat never seemed to really notice this bird. Where do you see the face? Pretty birdie. Just show you the look at the feetsies, the talons, the claws. It's okay. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Pretty bird. They're gonna hurt you. Pretty bird. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, birdie. Birdie. It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. You're just a baby. You're just a baby. Oh, it's just it's okay. I feed you. I don't know what you want to eat. Oh, you're soft. It was never afraid of me. Usually you would think you get near a bird and they're going to try to fly away. Oh, how strong are your wings? Not very strong yet, huh? Oh, hello, hello, birdie. Birdie, pretty bird. Oh, birdie, pretty birdie. I hope I wasn't doing the bird any danger being gone when I was, but I didn't know how long I would be gone. I won't do the stream too long. I'll see if see. But the thing is, I can't call right now. It's midnight. I don't think I'll be able to call until like 8 in the morning. I have to keep this bird alive until I can get a hold of somebody because I don't think anybody's going to appreciate my calling at midnight. I mean, what do you think? Because I don't think this is just an office in some wildlife sanctuary. I believe this actually might go to somebody's cell phone. And I'm thinking they might be kind of pissed off. You know, baby, baby, baby. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll leave a message then, because you know, it's kind of odd that these things happen on holiday weekends. You know, a couple of things I wanted to do today. I find that people were taking an early weekend, and so instead of like if their work day would be 5 o'clock, they're making it more like 4, and I don't blame them. I'm gonna, matter of fact, I'm trying to think of where that number would be. I don't have instant access to it unless it's in this book that I have that has a few things in it that I transferred, but I really don't know if I would have had that number in it or not. Hmm. No, unless it happens to be in the Rolodex, but I don't. You know what? I'll do after I do this live stream. I'll do an internet search, and I'll find maybe they have something in the phone directory or something. Oh, okay. See, I my channel like the animal that I tend to rescue the most is house mice, and I have a couple of places that I rehome them where you got to strike a balance between they have a food source and they can make bedding and they're not easy targets for prey, and they can't just run back into housing where they run the risk of poisoning or torture with glue traps or torture by evil humans. Um, so, and the garden where I usually go, now there's a dog there, and dog, they don't keep up after him too much. So you have to be careful where you step. So as a result, I'm not spending as much time there as I had been. I just found out Garfield may be as old as 17. I really have an intention of adopting him for real because he may be appreciated and loved by some of the people in this neighborhood, but nobody seems to be holding him in their house for over 12 hours in a day like I am. People, he's in and out. He has been here for greater than 24-hour periods of time. I let him out for a couple hours and I bring him back in. And I would really love to have him adopt him for real. But he needs to be litter box trained though. That's the thing, is I've never seen where he goes to the bathroom, and he kind of has a way of letting us know when he wants to be let out. But I don't believe the cat should be outdoors. I believe the cat should be safely indoors where they can't run into traffic, they can't run into other animals or evil humans. It's much safer to be indoors. But it gets tricky, as you can tell, when I'm hiding a mouse from a cat, hiding a bird from a cat. For all I know, I may end up catching a mouse in the kitchen, and so I'll be hiding a mouse and a bird from this cat. You can't make this stuff up. Birdie, poor birdie. Yeah, a serious kerfuffle. And as you can see, Garfield is right. Oh, wrong view. Garfield is here. I'm trying to have you see Garfield. And she, or he, is right here. Today was we had an eventful day at the house. The doorbell rings, and I don't want to go all the way down the stairs. And I asked, who is it? And they said, code enforcement. And they said, apparently, some neighbor, of course, they didn't say who, complaining about the mice. And so they asked if they could come in. And I said, no. I said, my landlord didn't call me and tell me to expect you guys to be here. He would have given me the heads up and I would have wanted to do some perfunctory straighten up around here. I have had like 3 hours of sleep. I explained to him that I'm a full-time caregiver to an 83-year-old elder. And I have my hands full and I'm a full-time YouTuber. And you know, I hope nobody's expecting me to have house beautiful, but no, unless you have a warrant or you're with the landlord, you're not getting in. Then they had the nerve to ask me if we had electricity and gas. I said, of course. And what do you think we're uncivilized? I mean, what? But this is a holiday weekend, and nothing else is going to be can be done until Monday. We have our suspicions as to who this may have been, because there's you think of who stands to gain by your eviction or what have you, right? And we definitely know an individual in an organization that would definitely stand to gain by having an empty apartment to rent out to a bunch of people. people who wouldn't be complaining about any church noise because they would be beholden to the people that run the churches. So, but I was also assured that if anybody tries to get us out, that there are agencies that could put the kibosh to that. And the other person that we live with, he made some phone calls to some people, and they basically reassured him that we didn't do anything wrong. That as far as code enforcement goes, they really need to do something about the riffraff around here, the dealers, the human filth that is literally in alleyways and on city streets around here. And I think I don't need to explain what human filth is. I don't mean human beings who act like filth. I mean literally human filth. All the 24-hour restrooms that are around here in this city, all the casinos, a person can't go to a bathroom. But of course, there are some people that are forbidden access to these places because they maybe security has a picture of them and they won't let them in casinos because of maybe they got caught doing something, whatever. You'd be surprised how many homeless people are not allowed in the casinos. And the police have been really cracking down on the boardwalk. The same kind of cops that told me that I would get $1,000 ticket if they saw me up there with my guitar again. And then they told me that even if I got the necessary permit, I'd have to be way up clear by resorts and only in certain hours. And considering that I can't even really go out there until about 5 in the afternoon because I can't be in the sun. Sun helped to kill my father. And and so if they're going to tell me that I have to be in certain designated spots that don't have shade in them, and I can't do it past midnight or whatever the hell it is, and that's bullshit because I've seen musicians and dancers at all hours, like up by Bally's where it's very brightly lit. But the only thing is, you can drown out some of the ambient noise if you have a real loud sound system like this particular dancer does. And I don't know who has permits and who doesn't, but really, it's just if you can't play where you want to play after you plunk down all that money, that's not right. And I would not feel safe uptown. I want to know, say some aggressive panhandler is bothering me, or he's trying to make a pass at me, or he won't leave me alone. I can get home real fast. I want to know that if all of a sudden the thunderstorm should show up out of nowhere, I have a real serious lightning phobia. I want to know that I can run home fast. I don't want to be up somewhere where you slip and fall and the boardwalk gets slippery and you fall on your ass and you drop your instrument. No, no. I don't think I'm being too unreasonable in saying if I'm going to go through the investment and all that time and effort, I got to at least be able to work at my convenience. When my mother was in the hospital, I didn't get to visit her one time because I was out trying to make a buck. And I mean, this town, I've had a love-hate relationship with this town forever, you know. And the thing is, I live for the summer. The summertime is when people always had a good time. And the boardwalk is my favorite part of this town. And that's where people tend to hang out. And that's where you always find your friends. And if we are, uh, every couple of years, cops go through this where you have a network of friends that you like to hang out with, and all of a sudden, the cops take away different places where you hang out in. Like if there's some benches that have umbrellas over them, it's for people to play cards or whatever. All of a sudden, they'll be gone. People all of a sudden be uh, spread out all over, and so you lose touch with your buddies. And assuming that only a handful of them are on social media, and I actually got to be Facebook friends with some people, but then they decided they didn't like some of my posts because either you don't like who I voted for, or you don't like the way I describe things that I was experiences that I was having in my life. And it's like, I would never purport to criticize someone for the nature of their posts. Well, okay, if they're posting nonstop pro Palestinian stuff, that would get on my nerves because I try to tell people, hello, do you not acknowledge what happened October 7th? And I've gotten so much, oh, But what about the children? What about the children? At least the starving children you're talking about aren't 450 some degrees burned to a crisp. At least the women you're talking about may be starving, but they haven't been raped, okay? So, I don't give a fuck about this Palestinian bullshit. Israel has a right to defend themselves. Bring the goddamn hostages home and stop getting up Netanyahu's ass because they have the audacity to defend themselves. You try being like a donut hole, surrounded by all sides with enemies that want your destruction, and have people all over the world that hate you and want you all to die. How would you feel? And wouldn't you want some way of protecting yourself? And you have people that live and go to college in this day who don't believe the Holocaust even happened. Meanwhile, you have Holocaust survivors that sometimes do tours at colleges and universities and grade schools, and they show their tattoos and they talk about their stories. When I was in fifth grade, sixth grade, was in a public school, there was a man, old man, I don't remember who he was, who survived the Holocaust, and he talked about his experiences. And he was real obviously traumatized by it because I wanted to talk to him about it afterwards, and then he acted like he didn't speak English. And I thought he was kind of rude, but then again, maybe he was shell shocked from his experience. And I have to, you don't have the sophistication of thinking why a person acts a certain way when you're in fifth grade or sixth grade. Now, I have personal friends who were liberated from Auschwitz. One of them is this lady. She's got to be around my mother's age, and she lives in one of the senior citizen complexes uptown. And we became friends before I got sober. She liked to play the penny machines, the Tropicana, and sometimes you meet people who like to go to the VIP lounges, and he'll take you to eat dinner and stuff. And one time I lost one of my tarot cards. It was one of the last times I drank too, and I was so mad at myself for that because you can ruin a deck. You have a deck that you can't do readings on just because you lose one card. And I know I can contact the company and see if I can get a card sent. I need to do that because this has been when I got sober. I'm going on 20 years sober, so think how long ago that was. Birdie. Oh, this bird is like throwing itself around, thrashing around. Okay, I'm going to cut this a little short so that I can try to find a number for an animal rescue. It's 12:25 a.m. This is just really not a good time. I'm going to see if where I could have kept a copy of that number that I called because I want to do something for this little fella. Oh, look at the birdie. Look at that birdie. So I knew what you needed. Oh, yeah. Barman, thank you for checking out the channel. And I love the UK. Tell Boris Johnson I said hi. Tell Sadiq Khan I said go fuck himself. No, I shouldn't have said that. No. I have some opinions. You can tell by looking at the man who's on my shirt. But no, I love England. I love the UK. My most of my bloodline is from England. Okay, so I really love you guys. Can't wrap my head around this soccer you guys watch because I just got and understand American football. But if I wasn't afraid of flying, I'd go out there. I think I'd have a blast. All right, Birdie. Now where's Garfield? Oh, Garfield. Hello, baby. Garfield. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh, come here, baby. Look at that cat. Oh, we got a cat. Look, we got a cat doing the squirmy wormies. You doing the squirmy wormy? The baby. Here's my baby cat. I got a baby cat. I got a baby cat. I got a baby cat. Let me show everybody your pretty face. Look, show everybody your pretty face. See, Garfield. Such a good boy. And he's doing that thing with the propeller tail. Right? Remember, baby? Just pay no attention to the bird, okay? Because we don't want any interspecies interaction. I gotta protect that bird. And yeah, I can do a little blanket. I still like to know how the bird got in. The only thing I can think of is here the screen is ripped from our cats. And yeah. Oh, you're getting real active. And Garfield is drinking water and eating food. Garfield is settling in really nicely. I'm glad he's drinking water and he's eating food. I've been literally taking him off of this. There's this grouchy old man who lives on a house, and the porch is real low, like hip high, and so it's real easy for me to grab Garfield off the porch. But people see this whole winter time when it was really cold, you would have thought all these people who like this cat would have brought him in, and they bring him in, they only have him in for like 5 minutes. And it's like, if you really care about an animal and he's outside, you bring them in, give him a litter box, you do something, give him a shelter or something. And all of these people that say they like this cat, there's a social service agency nearby that they sometimes put things like tuna fish and real cat food, you know. But I'm thinking, if I have a chance to move out of this neighborhood, I'm going to take this cat with me. And now that both the people that I live with are cool with him being here and they like him here, and the landlord actually likes it that he's here. Can you imagine that? Oh, we're very lucky the landlord came back from, I don't know if he was in Taiwan or if he was in China. He just got back yesterday. And so when code enforcement did whatever their thing, and we really think that somebody with the church uh, made a phone call and tried to say things about us, because they stand to gain by something happening to us. But here we were told, actually, code enforcement, if something happened to us, we wouldn't be the only ones affected. Everybody in the whole building would be affected, including the church. So that would be really stupid to fuck with us. Meanwhile, the other person that my mother and I live with has personally said that if he finds out, Fixamoto, hey, he finds out who snitches off, um, they're not going to enjoy the repercussions. Code enforcement, they wanted me to open the door. Somebody complained about the mice or something. It's like, we didn't breed them. I rescue them, I don't breed them, okay? Speaking of breeding, I saw two water bugs that looked like they were about to have a romantic interlude. When they were like really, really close to each other, and I didn't feel like standing around to watch to see if one climbed onto the other. But it's like, oh my god, I still got mice. I got lots of mice. I got mice. I got a bird. I gotta find this number for this water and see if they can help this bird. It's a fledgling bird of some kind. And the thing is, I had this previous notebook that I had this number for wildlife rescue, and I didn't transfer that number into this book here that has a few numbers. I don't talk on the phone very much. I do most of my communication via the internet. But, and this, believe it or not, is the third bird that I've found in my life that I've done some kind of rescue with. Hey, Joe. I never liked that song, believe it or not. I don't really care for Cyndi Lauper. I mean, she seems like a nice person and all that, but, you know, I bet she's probably like all the rest of those Trump haters gloating on What happened to him? I'm still in shock over that. You know what? Some of that fruit cup looks good. I think I'm going to help myself. Poor birdie. I was so worried about um, keeping those two separate because a bird was hitting up against the box. Sometimes a bird would get out of the box and be near my TV. And the last thing I wanted the cat to notice the bird. And I had a video that I had to film. You're on a railroad bridge in the desert. I really enjoy traveling by Greyhound bus and going through all these rural towns, and you can actually see the sky and you can see the stars. And I like when they stop truck stops, but usually it ends up being just Burger Kings and McDonald's. It's just the same old fast food. So I always travel with food. But I love Greyhound. And a lot of people I know don't have the patience for it, but you got it. It's all in your attitude, like so much in life. And when I take a Greyhound, you got to come prepared. Like I always bring earplugs. I always bring notebooks so I can write. I always bring a book so I can read. I always bring an extra tote bag of some kind so I could collect the free newspapers and magazines you get on the way. You can have reading for at least a month just by the stuff you find crossing the country. I like to bring stamps with me and addresses to write to. Of course, now I think that's more optional because postage has gotten so expensive. I really enjoy Greyhound. Oh, Greyhound to Chicago. Yeah. See, Chicago is a big hub for, especially for the rails. Almost everything goes out of Chicago. When I had turbulence on an airplane and we touched down at O'Hare, and I was not getting back on that plane. So I ended up going to Western Union on LaSalle Street, Chicago, and got the money that my dad had wired me. And I went to the Greyhound station and I took the Greyhound bus the rest of the way to Hollywood. Oh, I bet a lot of Hollywood's gloating about what happened to Trump now. I saw, I didn't watch too much, but I saw some highlights of people like Jimmy Kimmel and different people, you know. And my mom, she wouldn't even watch all of Trump's remarks. She turned back to somebody else because she thought that he was just repeating himself or whatever. It's like she wouldn't even give him a chance, you know. And I think a lot of people are like that. They make up their mind that they hate somebody and they just they are closed-minded to anything good that that person ever did. And she wouldn't even admit that, you know, they say one of the litmus tests is how are you doing compared to 4 years ago? And the thing is, she thinks that under Trump, she was doing worse. The thing is, you gotta allow for individual circumstances and things. Like I can have a lucky thing happen involving my guitar that might be have nothing to do with what the economy is actually doing, but it still doesn't change the fact that we're the dollar is losing value. and what you're able to buy. Just when you're talking about food, it's obvious that your dollar is getting you less, and it's obvious that gas is more expensive, and it's obvious that when policies and companies are more about advancing DEI and less about investing in training and maybe upgrading safety standards and things. So for those reasons, things aren't better right now. Not to mention the fact that we have a commander in chief that really having problems stringing a sentence together. Now, if you're filming a 15-second clip, it just should not need 12 jump cuts, for instance. Thank you, Joe. I only wish that they had electric when I was camping out, because I actually filmed a video before I went live. I figured, in light of what happened to our president, I thought it was important to do a live stream. If anything, just to say, I'm here if anybody wants to blow off some steam or whatever, as long as we don't say or do anything to get me kicked off of YouTube, because, YouTube is kind of funny when it comes to us right wing infidels. Birdie. I'm getting a little thirsty. I love this cut glass. It's just like lead crystal, but it's cheap stuff that somebody set aside a whole bunch of it, glasses, and I have plates that are faceted, and they look real nice. It's just apple juice, not alcohol. Just because I like to drink out of stemware, as it feels dainty in the hand. I never want anybody to think that I'm drinking, and I don't want to scare people because they see stemware and they think, Leather, what the heck is she doing? Hmm. Would like to smoke some weed. It seems like I do that every live stream, but actually, I did fall into a wee little bit when I went out today. I'm really happy about one particular thing in my life, and that's this here. I've been writing again, even though I get kind of mad when I let a couple of days go by and then all of a sudden I have to pay catch up, and I have to reference my calendars to see what was eventful each day. And then all of a sudden something happens, like Trump gets framed and they say he's guilty of all this bullshit, and they somehow turn misdemeanors into felonies. And you're hearing all the talking heads on TV with all this doom and gloom, and it's really, really disheartening. And yet, on the other hand, watching some of the guys, it's like you've got a whole bunch of shoulders to cry on, because you've got a lot of people, at least, that are broadcasting, that are saying what how this sucks for our standing in the world, how this basically means that right now we're nothing better than a banana republic. And it's just, this is the direction that I'm sure we never thought our country would go. And if it can happen to Trump, it can happen to any one of us. Just like when Trump was kicked off of the major social media platforms and cyber platforms, that was another wake up call that if people can do things, take away the rights to President Trump, none of us is safe. It really makes me feel It's a destabilizing thing, but it's not about me. I just feel bummed out about the president. Birdie, 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 birdie. And I'm trying to get the frame. And it is so hard for me to get this in the frame. There. Birdie. Okay, I think I'm going to cut this short so that I can try to find a rescue and or something. But thank you guys for watching. And if you're an American citizen, please do vote. If you've got the wherewithal, please contribute to Trump so that his campaign can compete against all these slings and arrows that are being thrown his direction. We really do believe that he's best for the country and that we need him to undo the damage done by Dementia Joe. And yeah, but let's not do anything rash. Let's try to keep an even keel and level heads. Let's not give the left any satisfaction of seeing us lose it, because we're better than that. Have a good night. It is now 12:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.